Grand Arborist, Prince of the Heavenly Nectar, grant us your grace. For I have witnessed a lifetime of death, but none who are untethered from it.
Arken released for PC and PSVR 2 back in January this year and immediately jumped into my Game of the Year category. Just a perfect VR game. In fact, a perfect video game with an engaging story, a raft of upgradable weapons, visceral, exciting melee combat, a huge amount of exploration and collectibles. But above and beyond all of that, the game is one of the most aesthetically pleasing games I've ever played. And I've been around video games for a long time now. The small indie dev team at Vitruvius have basically conjured a miracle with the visuals, which are frequently breathtaking, eye-wateringly colourful and incredibly beautiful to behold. Just a stunning experience all round. When they told me they were porting to MetaQuest, I must admit I was a bit worried by the move to a standalone chipset and the obvious downgrade that would cause. However, and I really don't understand how they've managed it, but Arken on Quest 3 is a triumph. I don't want to preempt my review, but here it is. This is one of the best, most complete, well-rounded video games currently available, and not just in VR. If you haven't played it yet, you should go and buy it right now, after watching my review, of course. So, what is Arken? I'll break this review down into the story, graphics, audio, gameplay before giving my conclusion, so make sure to stay till the end of the video for that. The story. You are the untethered one, free of the corruption that blights the biochasm. Your journey begins in the Celestial Custodian's Tower on the shores of the chasm, a terraformed realm created to harvest Arkenite energy. Its divine founder, the Grand Arborist, has ceased cultivation of your planet, and every transmission sent to him has been met with abject silence. Uncover the truth behind the disappearance of the Grand Arborist. Forge an alliance with the Nara alien race and take up arms against the usurper Hyperion and his legion of corrupted soldiers. The graphics. Arken is quite simply one of the most stunning looking games I've ever played, not just in VR, but ever. And like I've said before, I've been around for what seems like forever. The developers have taken a touch of Halo's constructs, mixed in a stunning biosphere, then sprinkled the environments with increasingly colourful and aggressive enemies. I cannot count how many times I entered a new biosphere to be confronted with something I hadn't seen before. It is quite frankly breathtaking. Huge, towering cliff faces, strange alien devices whirring away in the background, prowling enemies and giant waterborne creatures, claustrophobic tunnels, magnificent wide open spaces and futuristic high-tech buildings for you to explore and enjoy. Some of the levels are bursting with colours, while others are demurer with equally beautiful autumnal colours. The enemies are also a joy to behold. Even the basic grunts burst with colour, attitude and aggression. Blocking an incoming shot and watching it bounce back into the face of your protagonist is a silky, smooth delight. The weapons all look good, especially as you start to upgrade them and gain the ability to paint and customise the look of them. Arken is just a visual tour de force. The audio. The audio is almost as beautiful as the graphics, from wilting tunes in the background to more energetic vibes as the tension and combat erupt. Enemies grunt and scream at you, plus your weapons sound beefy once they've been upgraded. Melee combat is suitably crunchy and visceral. The sounds of your Arcanite-infused blade smashing against the enemy shield is a definite highlight. The voice acting is well crafted and suits the tone of the game. All in all, the audio is a subtle highlight. The gameplay. When you start the game, you are equipped with a shield, sword, pistol and shotgun. Initially, the powered weapons feel a bit weak, but once you start to find or buy upgrades, they turn into killing machines. My favourite is the very Halo-esque quill splitter with its exploding spikes. Plus, once you have all three of a certain weapon type's upgrades, you get an added boost on top of that, which makes them even more lethal. I must admit that long-range shooting would quickly give way to the melee combat for me. There is nothing better than blocking an enemy shot, countering a sword swing with your shield, stunning an enemy, then decapitating them in brutal fashion. It is very satisfying, whichever way you choose to engage your enemies. Each new biome presents you with a new suite of enemies to fight against, a raft of collectibles, hidden secrets, and weapon upgrades. And you know me, I like a nice collectible. Weapons can be upgraded by finding hidden blueprints, collecting enemy body parts, can be exchanged for alloy, which is the game's currency. You can buy disposable items like health and shields, plus new weapons and weapon upgrades as well. Health syringes can be crafted using a blowtorch and collected fruits. There is a weapons bench for upgrading your sword, pistol and heavy gun. Plus, you can also paint your weapons to suit your individual style, which took up a lot more time than I thought it would. The climbing mechanic. Now, let's get started. The climbing mechanic is one of the best I've ever experienced in VR. A quick flick of the wrist brings out your axes, which can be used to climb any tree or wooden construct. It makes you feel like a proper badass, and they can also be used to open boxes for loot or strike down unsuspecting enemies, which is very cool. If you are going in all guns blazing, you can equip a quick health revive on a button press. Weapons can be reloaded by tapping them to your right shoulder or manually if you are two-handing them. It's very well thought out and allows the combat to flow without interruption. One thing I would like to applaud is the almost endless tweaking you can do with your gun angles. For me, shooting a pistol in VR can be frustrating as I always seem to shoot high. With Arken, you can tweak the exact position of your gun so that when you point it at an enemy, it'll always be bang on. A small but important point. All in all, the gameplay is balanced between enjoyment while also being quite challenging. The story integrates well and pushes you on. The enemies are interesting and fun to fight against, and the game just has a well thought out polish that shows the passion of the team behind it. Before we get to my conclusion, my channel is growing exponentially at the moment, so if you've got any value from this review, please hit the like button, subscribe, and consider joining my channel membership for extra perks and giveaways. Plus, if you do fancy picking up this game on your Meta headset, please use my official affiliate link for 10% off. Thanks. The conclusion. Quite simply put, I loved my time with Arken. Going back to play the MetaQuest version after nearly 6 months away made me realise just how amazing this game is in every department. No bugs, no glitchy graphics, not a single complaint about anything. Just a smooth, beautifully formed and finished game, which is a rarity in the days of day one patches and endless updates. The game has clearly benefited from all the feedback and tweaks for the PSVR 2 and PC versions to make it the complete polished package at launch. I thought it was very well thought out, beautiful game that started to envelop my thoughts after the first hour. It has depth in its combat, a raft of collectibles and hidden items to keep you searching, an upgrade tree for all of your weapons, a clear and concise map with generous save points, an interesting storyline with quite clear good and bad guys. Every biome is beautiful and different, and I just loved it. I have put about 6 hours into the game on Quest, but I have finished the game on PC to 100% completion, and it took me about 20 hours, though I did spend a lot of time searching for every single Nara relic, hidden blueprint and cryptographer on all the levels I have played, so it might be shorter if you are rushing to see the end of the game. But I would suggest that you don't do that. You should soak up the atmosphere, enjoy the stunning vistas, upgrade your weapons, and don't forget to collect all the heads of your decapitated enemy. You know, like make a little pile of heads and then chat to them like you were long lost friends. Is that a bit wrong? Probably, but you can do it anyway. I highly recommend this game. It has a spit and polish well beyond most VR titles on Meta headsets. The developers have clearly thought long and hard about what makes a game fun and accessible, and as I've stated, it is possibly the most beautiful VR game I've ever played. Thank you to the team at Vitrivius. You have knocked this one out of the park. You should go and buy this game now on whichever platform you favour, be that PC, PSVR 2 or Meta Quest 3. As always though, what do you think? Do you like the aesthetic of the game? Does the combat look fun to you? Are you looking forward to jumping into the biochasm, or are you dead inside? Because you'd have to be to ignore this game. Well, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this content, please hit the like button. The algorithm loves the likes. If you love this content, please join my channel membership like these lovely people did. You get custom badges, emojis, and early access to most of my content. If you want to watch more content from me, please click here or here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the other side.